Good Tuesday afternoon, coffee in hand, ready to rock and roll, talk baseball, OOTP, weather, lots of things on the agenda today. How are you guys doing on this afternoon? Yes, we will talk Hall of Fame vote. Are the results in? Well, we'll check that out. What's going on in the U.S.? I hear some drastic major weather coming in the Midwest later today and tomorrow. And of course, we'll check in on all three teams, including a 3-game series my theme team had with EVC and his 70 disco ball players. Be right back right after the 30-second intro. Once again, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. Yes, this is not my Tuesday face. This is not my Friday face, I should say. This is my Tuesday face. Yeah, 3 days in a row of streaming today, yesterday, and tomorrow to get my stream ins for the week. Again, can't stream on Thursday because if you were tuning in yesterday, yes, dog sitting a couple of black labs and they go back to their home on Thursday. So I'm not sure what my timing would be like there. So hello, Rob VD fan. Good to see you again. And Cubs fan Steve, always with the emotes and the good conversation and the insight, not only into OOTP, but into real baseball and Orlando and everything Florida. So welcome back again, Steve, to the stream. Good to see you guys. I know Tranquil was on a little early this morning, but if you didn't get up and you're looking for your drops, I'm here to get those 5 drops. And Nersha Benko comes on about 4:30 Eastern Standard Time if you still need some drops after that. And of course, TJ Lauerman on tonight with his Boston Red Sox series. I'm sure he'll talk Hall of Fame results. I'm sure he'll get into some gameplay. I know he wasn't feeling good last week. Hopefully he is all mended up, as we like to say, up here in Canada. So yes, today is episode number 56. Yes, episode number 56. The votes are in. Well, almost in. I know there's 3 or 4 hours of probably pre-vote announcement that they do on the Major League Network. I'm sure they're going to hype it up and talk it up. I've heard everything from a couple people being put in to no one being put in. We'll take a look at kind of what the current numbers are a little bit later. But I thought, what an appropriate title for today's episode. The votes are in on the Hall of Fame ballot. So again, want to welcome you guys to the stream today. Starting to fill up a little bit. Lots of seats. Come on in. Check things out. Got the coffee on, as always. Today, hazelnut blend with another capsule, a double capsule from Nespresso of gingerbread and some peppermint syrup to go in it, along with my usual butterscotch. And of course, coffee creamer. Got to have some coffee creamer. Today is simple hazelnut coffee creamer in it today. So that'll get me through the day. That is the fuel that Laptop Pound runs on, whatever your fuel is, water, coffee, tea, other beverages. Hope you're enjoying something on this Tuesday as we work our way through the week. All right, well, got to do a quick check-in on the weather. It wouldn't be a Laptop Pound stream without a quick check-in. And before I do that, a couple of thank yous again. I didn't get these thank yous yesterday. I don't know if Rom is in the chat. Rom3, if you're in the chat today, just leave a little message there so I know you're here. And other than that, unsanitary. Little play on words there. Unsanitary. Followed yesterday at the end of the stream. And Indy JB4. Thank you, Indy JB4. You are follower number 552. So thank you for the recent followers. And if you are new to the stream, feel free, follow along, subscribe if you want. Hope you get some good information out of the streams for OOTP and just life in general. I like to talk life in general sometimes and things going on. I give movie reviews. I give weather updates. It's not just baseball, but of course we do a lot of that as well. So getting close on 15 subscribers. When I hit 15 subscribers, I get to make a few more emotes. Right now, I'm limited to, I think, 5 emotes. And then subscribers have different emotes as well. Starting to learn this Twitch thing a little bit better. So I'm 1 or 2 shy subscribers from getting to create some more emotes for you guys. So we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. But I'm really happy with how things are going in Edmonton, Alberta, where I am just north of Edmonton, Alberta. It is 3 degrees. I am enjoying it. Had the dogs out this morning, threw the ball around. They were jumping through the snow. And yeah, it was fun being outside without a jacket on in Canada in January with 3 degrees. Looking nice all week except Saturday, Sunday. We get back into the double-digit minuses, but we won't talk about that. That's days away before we get to that point. Finally sunny there in AC. Chance of our first snowfall this week. Yeah, I know the U.S. is headed for some nasty weather depending where you're at. And right now, just looking at my little Twitch geo tracker, 30 of you from the United States, got almost 10 of you from Canada. And of course, we've got our Germans or Belgians, I guess. I get the Germany and Belgium flag mixed up sometime, but got 3 of you tuning in from Belgium and 1 from the UK. I wonder if that's Luke. Wonder if it's Luke from the UK tuning in. But over 60 of you in the chat, so that just hasn't updated yet. Always curious to see where people are watching from. Well, our warm spot right now, again, is Port-au-Prince. 90 degrees in Port-au-Prince. Where the heck is Port-au-Prince? I know it's not in Canada. Port-au-Prince, there we go. So the hot spot right now in the Americas is right here. Of course, we got to add that to our Google map. We got to see where we've been on these different streams. So Port-au-Prince in Haiti. There we go. Have any of you guys ever been to Haiti? I know Cuba. I don't know so much for Americans because of the embargoes and things that were going on for a long time because of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Of course, I wasn't around back then. I'm sure many of you weren't around back in the early 60s, but Nikita Khrushchev and John F. Kennedy in the standoff for the missiles that the Soviet Union at that time wanted to place in Cuba. Yeah, Nikita Khrushchev struck up a deal with Fidel Castro to place some missile sites in Cuba because Cuba, as Cubs fan Steve will know, is right off the coast of Florida. So, of course, the Soviet Union, strategically wise, would want to place some missile sites right next to their rival in the Cold War. Yeah, I grew up in the Cold War, under Reagan and under Jimmy Carter and Khrushchev and Brezhnev and finally Andropov and Chernenko and then Gorbachev. And as a young kid, it was a little scary because the media and the propaganda was, evil Soviet Union and nuclear war. And we did nuclear war drills in school. And yeah, Cuba was kind of going to be a home base for these nuclear missiles that Khrushchev wanted to send over. JFK, of course, in his famous speeches, said, we're not going to let that happen. And of course, we had not an embargo, but we had forget what the term is now, where they had a bunch of ships kind of come to the east coast of Cuba that were going to stop the Soviets from bringing over their missiles. So yeah, we had kind of a standoff here in 1963, I think it was, 1962, somewhere around there. And eventually one side had to blink. And there's a great Kevin Costner movie. Yes, Field of Dreams is one of his. But I think it's called 10 Days or 12 Days, about this standoff between the USA and the USSR. So Haiti, don't know if you've ever been to Haiti, but that's just to the east of Cuba. Quarantine, there we go. Yeah. Quarantine and blockade. Right. They couldn't use the word blockade because that was an act of war, I think. I don't think they could say blockade. So they had to use a different term, and they had to use the term quarantine to kind of get around this act of war declaration. So Khrushchev finally blinked. An agreement was made. I believe part of the agreement was that the USA would take their missiles out of Turkey because, of course, the US had military bases and they had things going on in Turkey here, which, of course, is really close to the former Soviet Union. And I believe that might have been part of this deal. But yeah, we came within hours of a potential dangerous situation with nuclear weapons being fired at each other. And of course, those were days of mutual assured destruction, MAD. And MAD, once missiles fly, it's hard to control it, and you're going to see mass devastation across major parts of the world. So that was kind of one of the peaks in the Cold War. Of course, Stalin with his Berlin blockade early in the Cold War between East Germany and West Germany, which was a crazy situation, but that's a story for another day. That was kind of a peak. And then in 1979, when the Soviet Union went in and invaded Afghanistan in 1979, that was kind of another peak in the Cold War. Where is my Afghanistan? Somewhere around here. So yeah, that was an interesting time growing up when you had these two superpowers emerging after World War II in this standoff for 30, 40, 50 years. And then, of course, the 80s started to kind of wane off a little bit. And then Gorbachev, a young 50-some-year-old, got into power and communism kind of collapsed with his perestroika and glasnost policies. All right. Yeah. So, Luke, not only do you get a geographical lesson, but a history lesson. I'm sure the Brits, portray the Cold War. I'm sure you grew up, went to school, learned a lot about the Cold War as well. And yeah, it was always an interesting part of the curriculum that I enjoyed teaching in Canada. Canada wasn't really involved a lot in the Cold War, but we did have our 1972 Summit Series, our hockey series, an 8-game series between us and the USSR. And after 7 games, it was all evened up, 3 wins each, 1 tie, and it went down to game 8 in the, I believe it was in the Soviet Union, game 8 as well. So that was kind of our big, sports moment during the Cold War. For Americans, of course, it was the Miracle on Ice, that memorable, I think it was Lake Placid 1980, I'm thinking, 1980 Lake Placid. Mike Eruzione, I think the captain of the U.S. squad that defeated the USSR in the semifinals in a Miracle on Ice. And then they won the finals. I think it was over Sweden or Finland, one of the Nordic countries that they won the finals. So yeah, 1980 Miracle on Ice. That is your kind of Cold War memorable moment. But I don't know if you guys follow hockey much, but in the 70s, Philadelphia had the big bad Flyers, the Flyers that fought a lot and were really tough. They won a couple Stanley Cups. And the USSR, the Red Army team, because that was their best team. It was military guys that were basically playing hockey in the USSR. And they came over and they toured many of the NHL cities. And their Philadelphia stop was extremely memorable. The Flyers got in their face. They roughed them up. Bobby Clark and, all these guys that were rough and tough, slashing and, punching them in the face. And the Soviet Union, the Red Army guys, walked off the ice. They said, we're not playing this game. This is not hockey to us. So, yeah, very fun times, sporting-wise, in the Cold War. The Broad Street Bullies. Yeah, the Broad Street Bullies. So, even though I was really young during most of the Cold War, it still has imprinted a lot of things on me. And as a social studies teacher, of course, I love that kind of stuff. Love talking about that stuff. Old time hockey. Yep. Bobby Clark would lose a couple teeth and, still go out and slash guy. He was known for that dirty slash. He was a face-off guy and he would just hack away when the refs weren't looking, or even when they were looking, at the ankles of many a player. So yeah, he was a dirty hockey player. He was from was in the northern part of Manitoba, where Bobby Clark was from. So he grew up in a rough environment and played hockey the same way. Oh, yeah. If you guys have never, if you're a sports fan and you've never seen Paul Newman Slapshot, give yourself a treat. Gotta watch that movie. I must have seen that movie a dozen times, and every time I laugh out loud. It is the Hanson brothers and the French Canadian goalie. Oh boy, that is a classic. Again, you don't want your young kids watching it, even though I probably watched it when I was 8 or 9. It is, probably R-rated by today's standards. But yeah, Slapshot is the best hockey movie. I don't know what the best baseball movie is. For me, it's probably Field of Dreams. But the best hockey movie, Slapshot, by far. Mystery Alaska was okay. There have been a couple other good hockey movies, but Slapshot is in a league of itself. Yeah, you guys know your Slapshot references. Oh, yeah, Stroke 3R. I forgot about The Natural. There were such two different movies. It is way up there as well. Robert Redford, The Natural. What was his name? Roy Hobbs in The Natural, and then Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams. Both classic baseball movies for sure. All right, what else do we got going on here? Yeah, speaking of weather for you guys, I watch a guy named Ryan Hall, y'all, for all my kind of weather updates, and there's some nasty things that are taking place in the US over the next day or two. So depending where you guys are, there's some severe weather kind of down by the Louisiana area. We got some severe weather coming today there. If you're up in the northern areas or in the western areas, probably not a big deal. But yeah, there's tornado outlooks for today around New Orleans, around Lake Charles, Mobile, Alabama, kind of in that zone of some severe weather. And I don't know if I have any viewers. I don't think I've met anyone from this area on OOTP. But if you are from that area, stay safe. And for the rest of you guys, especially as we head towards the East Coast, we've got this big storm movement coming in where the northern part is a lot of snow and the southern part is a lot of rain. So Oklahoma City, I know I do have a follower from Oklahoma. Can't remember who that was, but might be Rob. Rob, were you from Oklahoma? But yeah, Oklahoma is going to get big time snow today. And then around Little Rock, kind of that border area or that pink area, that's where it kind of breaks down and you're going to see some rain to the south of that. And that's going to move in. That's going to create a lot of tornado activities, strong weather activities around Houston, moving into Louisiana, into Memphis. And then as it kind of goes along, this is 10 o'clock tonight Eastern time, 10 o'clock tonight Eastern time. This is what we're going to see kind of in the central area of the United States as it moves through Nashville. Gorgo's going to get some snow in Cincinnati tonight. Gorgo, get that shovel out for tomorrow morning because Cincinnati, Louisville, that area in red there, going to get snow. And underneath that, a bunch of rain. But it's probably not going to last. It's probably going to melt pretty quickly because as that rain and warmer air moves up, it's probably going to melt it off probably within a couple days. But yeah, you're going to get dumped on with a bunch of snow. In terms of amounts, we're getting, 7, 5, 4 inches, even by Roswell, Texas, you're going to get, 4 to 5 inches of snow in Texas, 7 inches, in the northern area above Lubbock there. And then Oklahoma City, as we move into Oklahoma, you're going to get 5 to 6 to 7 inches of snow. Canada, that works out to about 15 centimeters. That's quite a dump of snow that you guys are going to get. So yeah, there is I'm not a weatherman. I'm not a sports broadcaster or a movie reviewer, but I like to do all three every once in a while. So I just thought I'd show you guys that because I know a lot of you guys are probably in that area or have family in that area. And want you guys to be safe and prepared for that snow and rain that is coming your way. All right, how are we doing on time? Pretty good. Cool. All right, OOTP wise, if you have not gone to the OOT website and you're new, and I always like to mention this because every once in a while I get someone on my YouTube channel that says, hey, I just came across your videos. I'm new to the game. They helped a lot. Thank you so much. So I always like to point out the website for OOTP because that's a wealth of information. And you can download the mobile version. You can go on Discord. You can check out the forums. Great, great information. And even check into Fantasy or Franchise Hockey Manager, as the 9th version just came out a couple weeks ago. Can't wait for them to become more like OOTP and have a lot more versatility and options in their game. It's a great game. I love Franchise Hockey Manager, but it needs to get up to that baseball version level. Yeah. Yeah, Luke. Extreme weather update with Laptop Pound on Channel 9 tonight. I know. Let's go kind of full cam here. I know you get your weather. I know you get your movie information, but that's just my little niche into my streaming activity as a teacher and channel Ace of Bronze, Ace of Iron, Ace of or Live Bronze as well. I hope you guys are winning packs on there. Also got a bunch of different tutorials on the YouTube channel, so check those out if you haven't already. And any comment that you can leave, or if you like the video, that helps the algorithms and it pushes it to other people. It puts them on their recommended lists, and you never know, someone may just click on it and go, oh, what's this? Baseball? I like baseball. Oh, OOTP? I'm going to go check it out. And they download it and they become part of the community because we all started somewhere. We all came across the game somehow. For me, it was playing Mogul and then just Googling other baseball sim games and coming across OOTP. For some of you, it might have been a YouTube video from someone else. It might have been a recommendation of a friend or an advertisement that you've seen. So yeah, we've all started somewhere with this awesome game. And I'm hoping my videos on YouTube, my streams on Twitch, can bring more people into the community, because we had that peak during COVID. 20 and 21, 22 even, there were a lot of users. But I felt that this year has kind of waned a little bit in terms of the activity that we used to see. Hopefully it's a one-year thing. Hopefully it's only because the game came out late this year. But yeah, I want to see those numbers increase because the game is always better with more people and more activity and more promotions. Instead of, just diamond winners going up to Perfect League, if more people played the game, we probably would see more people being promoted to those higher levels. So yeah, check out those videos if you haven't. Yeah, you remember that was a great game, wasn't it, Steve? OOTP blows it out of the park. I don't even know if they still make that game anymore, but that was my first electronic sim game for baseball. For hockey, it was Eastside Hockey Manager, which I played the crap out of. But for baseball, it was Mogul for a couple years. You had to buy the hard copy, the physical copy. And then when I came across OOTP, I didn't look back. Oh, they do. They still make it? Nice. I might even still have my CD-ROM. It was probably, I'm thinking back 2005, 2006, around that area when I played that game. And I guess they have a football one too. Rob fan. Rob, you're always making finals on my streams. I'm going to have to can I have 10% of your packs? Too bad we couldn't transfer packs between each other, because I'd be charging Rob 10% of your wins. So congratulations, you made the bronze final in live. 2 more wins to get the 10 packs. Yeah, love those tournaments because you can just spam your 30 of them in a day. No giveaway today, guys. Giveaway will be tomorrow. Again, I am streaming tomorrow, not on Thursday this week. So tune in tomorrow for another 20-pack giveaway, 10 to 2 different users. I will be opening packs a little bit later on stream, probably on the Blue Jay squad, as we try and improve them a little bit. And of course, looking for one of my 3 top cards, Mr. Frank Thomas, Ty Cobb, or Randy Johnson. And I know some of you have pulled some of these cards, so congrats. I would take a Josh Gibson for sure. Josh Gibson would be a nice consolation. Twitter-wise, nothing going on for the Perfect Team account. They have not posted anything in the last couple of days. And on the regular account, a little bit of baseball information. They posted up the top 10 second base prospects. These are the guys that we will see in Perfect Team for many years. And on that note, we do have our first ad break coming up here, guys. I will leave this on the screen. We will be right back, and we'll check in on the Hall of Fame ballot, see if we've got any final announcements yet. So stay tuned. We'll be right back in about 90 seconds. right, welcome back from the ad break. Welcome to the Tuesday version of Streaming with Laptop Hound, where you will learn weather, news, sports, movie, entertainment, and yeah, every once in a while, a little bit of OOTP. We'll throw that in, just because we kind of have to. Oh, yes. All right, the second base prospects. This is the MLB Pipeline Top 10 second base prospect. I'm not familiar with any of these, but it looks like the Pirates have a couple good ones coming up. And if one can't play shortstop or third base, well, maybe it's good trade bait for something later on down the line as they build up their dynasty. Detroit with Jace Jung. We've got Zach with the A's, Connor Norby with the Orioles, and the Red Sox. Yeah, they have one in the top 10 too. So a couple for Detroit, couple for Pittsburgh. I'm not familiar with these names, but I'm sure I will over the next few OOTP versions that come along. So that is the last thing that was posted on OOTP. Well, 23 minutes ago, they posted something from Adam Dworsky. about internships, hiring for sports reference. The OOTP website or Twitter site, and they still haven't changed their pre-order banner. I guess they'll just change the 23 to a 24 next month. Hopefully we'll hear some news by next month. In other MLB news, yesterday was a pretty active day. A lot of little small free agent signings. Derek Law to a minor league contract for Mr. Gorgo's Reds. We had the Dodgers signing Wander Suero. We have Kevin Gowdy signed by the Dodgers. Carlos Sanchez signed by the Braves. So a bunch of little things. Brian Anderson activated by the Brewers. I guess was Mr. Nelson Cruz. I know EVC on his stream was wondering if he had been signed yet. And, you know, coincidentally, you talk about someone and they get signed. The Padres ended up signing free agent Nelson Cruz. So he is going to be in the NL next year. What else? Brewers again signing Brian Anderson, and they activated him. And the Dodgers, another signing, free agent pitcher Jordan Yamamoto, signed by the Dodgers. So that was yesterday. Let's take a look if anything's going on today. Oh yeah, the Phillies. There you go. Your Phillies, Rob, are very active today. A lot of invites to spring training. So hopefully they can find a diamond in the rough from all those invites. The Twins designate AJ Alexy for assignment. Diamondbacks sign the pitcher Jesse Biddle. I recognize that name. I think he's like an iron card or something, or was. What else do we got going on? A couple trades. The Royals and Red Sox. The Royals trade Mondesi and a player to be named later. Gotta love that. To the Red Sox for Josh Taylor. So Josh Taylor is now a Royal. And then the Twins made a deal with the Royals. They acquired Mr. Michael A. Taylor, who I think at one time was a Washington National, if I remember, Michael A. Taylor. So Royals trade Michael Taylor to the Twins for Evan Sisk and Steven Cruz. There we go. Is there actually a confirmed 24? Not officially, no. I haven't seen a confirmed official announcement, although the developers and the team have strongly hinted at it. So in my mind, they're confident there's going to be a 24. So I'm confident there's going to be a 24. I usually around the end of January is where we start to see little teasers and announcements. So I would be worried if we don't hear anything by, let's say, Valentine's Day. I'd be a little bit worried. But I'm still confident that we will see a 24 and hoping to see some big number changes on the list. Painter, Abel, and McGarry. Yeah, you guys are getting excited. It's about 60 days. 60 days before opening day. All right, let's check out. First of all, let's check out the Wikipedia site if they've updated anything on there. Nope, nothing there. Roland and Helton are the favorites. According to, someone pointed this out to me last week, that there is a Hall of Fame tracker with the ballots that have come in. Let's do a refresh on that. And as of the last update was 11:45 my time, so 1:45 Eastern, which was just 5 minutes. But right now, with half the ballots accounted for, Scott Rowland and Todd Helton make the Hall of Fame. Billy Wagner is really close. He needs to get about 77% of the remaining ballots. So that's where we sit in terms of Mr. Jeff Kent. His last attempt, he's at about 51%. A-Rod at 39%. And in danger of being dropped from the ballot, Matt Cain, Jacob Ellsbury, Lackey, Napoli, Peralta, Arroyo, Ethier, Hardy, Weaver, Worth, R.A. Dickey, Mr. Houston Street, and Torrey Hunter likely will be dropped from the ballot. So that's what we have. We will check in on that every once in a while just to see if anything's official yet. But looking good so far for Scott Rowland and Todd Helton. And next year, I think the only shoe-in, I think Beltre I think Adrian Beltre is eligible next year. Yeah, I think he's going to be a shoe-in. I see him as a first-time shoe-in for next year. And after that, who knows? Maybe Billy Wagner if he doesn't make it this year. Again, the most recent cards that have come out is the Hall of Fame ballot cards. Haven't opened up any of these. I am starting to use some of these in my perfect team drafts and checking some of them out. Most of these will not be playable on my teams because they weren't part of a theme team that I created. Probably everyone up to the perfect cards are not good enough to play in Diamond. Pettit, definitely not. None of these other guys. And even of the perfects, Billy Wagner, I think, can play in Diamond for sure. Probably Francisco Rodriguez, Scott Rowland, cards. We might have 4 that are Diamond or better capable. This week, of course, we have Mr. Sporer and his cards. He has to select some cards that are not in the game yet, from what I understand. So we should see some cards. What his favorite team is. I know he's done a Diamondback series. He's done a Expo series recently, but I'm not sure what his favorite team is. If you guys know, drop it in the chat there, because then we might have an idea of what some of the better cards, what teams they might be from. Kind of underwhelmed by the Rodriguez. I think you're in gold too, aren't you, Heath? So not doing too well for gold. Yeah, that's one card I haven't looked into too much. Oh, was it the Blue Jays? Is he like Snagel and they were a big, Blue Jay fan? Hey, Mr. Sporer, if you're watching, wearing the cap. Of course, I'm a huge Blue Jay fan, being in Canada. Excellent point, Steve. Yeah, so when you're asking if there's going to be a version 24, they did announce that Sporer is the content guy for OOTP 24. So they announced that back in December, I think. So I think if they weren't planning on releasing a game, they wouldn't have made that announcement. So yeah, very good point that it would be kind of silly to bring him on. Now, could it be delayed? Absolutely. Absolutely. We could see another delay in the game. But I think it will eventually come along. And if it's delayed, you know what? I'm okay with that because I like playing the game for the full 2 years. So even if it comes out late, I can still get a lot of enjoyment out of OOTP 23 and hopefully, continue to try to make Perfect League. The thing is, when a new game comes out, we lose half of the community to the new game. They abandon 23. They sell off all their good cards a lot of time for dirt cheap, and they put it aside, which is understandable. I do that when I play console games. NHL 19 comes out, I don't play 18 anymore. So totally understandable, but I like to play the game until they take it off the server. I don't know. I still enjoy playing the previous version. I was bummed when OOTP 22 was kind of short shifted a few months, about 8 months. They had to take it off the servers because of Amazon and the issues they were having with the hosted Amazon servers that they had been using. So get in the game. There were 7 or 8 of you that created ballots. We are going to switch over to that now. Let's play some franchise get in the game. Let's see how your players are doing, or if you just created one, where they end up being drafted to. So if you saw yesterday, I had a corrupt file. Yes, the file was corrupt. And fortunately, on the weekend, I backed it up. Word of advice, if you play franchise, go into the file menu, go to backups, and click on backup current game. Every version of OOTP, I've had at least one franchise series go corrupt. It just happens with updates, with computer issues. I have corrupt games and I get a bunch of gym unknowns. And I usually don't back them up. For some reason on the weekend, I thought I better back up this franchise game because it would be a shame to lose it. So I backed it up on the weekend. And when I went to look for it yesterday, it was almost identical where it should have been. The only thing that I didn't have was one of the user created players. Everything else was where it should have been. So thankfully, take it from me. If you play franchise, back your games up every once in a while. And they're very easy to recover. All right, so get in the game. Again, if you have a player in the game or if you recently created a player, just drop the name in chat because there are over 40 now and I don't remember who belongs to who. I know Cobra has MVP Vince Whirlwind. I believe Cubs fan Steve has Doc Gidge, but I can't remember a lot of the other ones. We are in 1927. The New York Yankees are facing off with the Boston Braves in the World Series. Of course, if we take a look at the history and we look at, let's look at the champions here. Brooklyn, the Red Sox with 2, the Braves with 1, the Phillies with 1, and the Senators won the championship last year. So this would be the first championship for the New York Yankees. And if the Braves win, it would be their second one. There are not a lot of user-created players on these teams. In terms of the Boston Braves, we've got no one on the pitching staff that's a created player. And in the lineup, doesn't look like we have a user-created player, which is weird, on the Boston Braves. So no one to root for there in the World Series. And on the New York Yankees, I know we have a few. We got Pug Bailey. Pug is in the World Series as a pitcher, two-way player. And he may be the only one. We got 35-year-old Lloyd Mosby, Blue Jay legend. Let's check out the Yankees pitching staff. Pug Bailey and no one else. So only one user-created player in this year's World Series. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on those games because we don't have to. We're simply going to go and quick play them. Game 1 in New York. The Yankees with a 6-5 victory over the Boston Braves. User-created Pug Bailey takes the win. He goes the distance. 10 hits, 2 earned runs. Roger Clemens. Imagine that. You go up against Roger Clemens. Pug, if you're in the chat, that's a lifelong memory for you. You outdueled Roger Clemens in Game 1 of the World Series. Congratulations. All right, let's go to Game 2. Game 2, the Yankees, again, crush Boston, this time 8-4. Herb Score with the victory, 9 innings, 2 earned runs. He is also the player of the game. And for the Yankees, Bill Melton, 24-year-old Bill Melton, has a day, goes 3 for 5, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. For the losing Braves, we have Mr. Keensey going 2 for 3. 2-0 for the Yankees as we head to Boston for the next 2 or 3 games. Game 3. This one is a nail biter. It goes to the bottom of the 9th inning. Got to check out that game log. Bottom of the 9th inning, the Boston Braves pull out the victory. And it's not giving me the game log for some reason. Whitey Ford with the win. He goes 9 innings, only gives up 3 hits. He is the player of the game. And 3 hits for the Yankees. Sandoval, Torre, and Pug Bailey playing second base. The only 3 hits. Let's see if they give us the game log here. Nope. I guess I'm not storing game logs to save on space. We go to game 4. 2-1 in games for the Yankees. Game 4, the Boston. This is a home field advantage series. The Boston Braves take it 3-1. This time, Ken Chase. I think it's Ken. Yes, Ken Chase in relief. Blows the save, but takes the victory. And Mr. Hahn takes the loss. So the Yankees tie the game in the top of the 8th. And then the Braves score 2 in the bottom to claim victory. We have a World Series 2 games apiece as we head to game 3 in Boston. And the Braves in the 10th inning, the bottom of the 10th inning, they score the winning run. Roger Clemens this time outduels Pug Bailey. They both go the distance. Clemens 10 strong innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. Pug Bailey 9 innings, 7 hits, and 2 earned runs. So bottom of 10. Let's see if we can tell how that winning score was scored. Nope. Wasn't off a home run. So the Braves, being down 2-0, are now up 3-2. Homer teams have won every game so far. We head back to New York. Egyptian Healy, love that name, up against Herb Score. And the Yankees rally after being down 8-5. They're down 8-5 in the bottom of the 9th. They score 3 runs to tie it up. Wow, talk about your backs against the wall. And then they score in the bottom of the 10th. Let's check out the Yankees home run situation. Home run by Joe Torre in the 5th inning. A 2-run shot. Mike Sweeney, a home run in the 9th inning. He hit the 3-run shot in the 9th. Mike Sweeney. Let's take a look at him. 34 years old. Played most of his career with Kansas City. A couple years in Seattle. Finished off his career in Philadelphia. Mike Sweeney with the series-saving 3-run shot in the 9th, and then in the 10th inning, name I can't even pronounce, came off the bench, it looks like, a little earlier in the game. Jeff Rebele played in Minnesota, Baltimore, Kansas City, Los Angeles, and ended his career in Pittsburgh in 2003. He comes into the game late and hits a solo shot, a walk-off, to win the game for the Yankees 9-8. Tom Henke, Blue Jay legend, comes in for the victory. He goes 2 innings, gives up 2 hits, and Mr. Ken Chase blows the save opportunity, gives up 3 runs on 2 hits in 2/3 of an inning. Well, we are going to Game 7 of the 1927 World Series. Whitey Ford for Boston, Rube Melton for the Yankees. Well, Game 7. Game 7, we have to do a little bit of managing. World Series Game 7. After a comeback victory in the bottom of the 9th for the Yankees. Got to see how this one plays out. We're gonna skip ahead. Let's go to the 7th inning. Oh, look at this. 7th inning. The Yankees are up 6-5. D. Gordon at the plate for Boston. He hits one to center field, we'll call that. Right center field. One away. Shannon Stewart. A lot of Blue Jay players here. He hits one deep. Oh, not that deep. The wind must have caught it. A fly out to left field. Two away. King Kelly. I like his chances. Catching for the Yankees or for the Boston Braves. He pounds one to left field. Grandma knit those sweaters. We have a tie game. It is getting cool in Yankee Stadium. A 6-6 game thanks to a 7th inning home run by Tom Kelly. 2 out for Prince Fielder. He hits a shot up the first base line, easy out, and that does it in the top of the 7th. Bottom of 7, John Valentin at the plate. He hits one up the middle, should be an easy play for the second baseman, one away. Ken Chase in relief for Boston, facing Lloyd Moseby, one of my top 10 players of all time. Because I met him when he was playing for Triple A Blue Jays in Medicine Hat, Alberta. Lloyd Moseby, as a rookie in Medicine Hat, I got to meet him when I was like 8 years old. So that definitely was a moment. A moment, right? We always have these moments with baseball players. Al Bunbury at the plate, 2 away. Yankees looking to get back the run. It is a weak ball to the shortstop, and that retires the side. We go to top of 9. Yes, congratulations to the Boston Braves for tying it up. Game 7, 1927 World Series. If you're just joining, welcome to Game 7. Tom Henke delivers a shot up the middle. That is going to fall in. And the Boston Braves with a leadoff single. Beals Becker at the plate. And he watches that one go by. Let's try this again. Another missed bunt opportunity. This time he swings away, hitting it deep, deep to center field, but just before the warning track. And the runner tags up and makes his way to second. Frank Catalano, believe a Met and a Blue Jay, and a stolen third base for Rajay Davis, another former Blue Jay. I think Catalano, wasn't he a Blue Jay too? Let's check this out. Yeah, he spent 4 years in Toronto. He hit 300, 301, 293, and 299. And then he left Toronto and things fell apart in Texas. Frank should have stayed in Toronto. Can he cash in the run? No, a weak ground ball to shortstop. Rajay Davis has to hold up. It's up to Bill Keensey up against Henke. And he can't get it done either. We go to bottom of 8, 6-6. Game 7, 1927 World Series. Pablo Sandoval at the plate. And for those of you just joining, this is a random debut franchise where players from any year can be imported into the game and be drafted. So that's why we see players like Wally Joyner, D. Gordon, and Joe Torre at the plate. Runner on first. Torre hits one to right field. It's deep, but on the warning track, out number 1. Joe Medwick. Good contact, good power, game on the line, and that is a booted ball by the third baseman. Who was that? That was Catalano. Catalanato, the cat, and a double steal, and it's successful. Medwick steals second. Lelevelt goes to third, one away. Bill Melton, golden opportunity. This should be deep enough. It is deep to center field. The wind is carrying it past the warning track, and The run comes in, and the New York Yankees, in the bottom of the 8th, take a 7-6 lead. Mike Sweeney goes down swinging, and we go to the top of 9. Tom Henke still in the game, looking for the win now. Johnny Evers at the plate. Weak ground ball to second. That will be out number 1. Leadoff hitter D. Gordon. He drives one to second base. Can he beat it out? No, that is out number 2. It is on the shoulders of Shannon Stewart. How old is he at this point in time? 23 years old. At that time, he was in Toronto. He hit .286, including against Blue Jay. Wearing the Blue Jay hat, and he gets things going. 2-out single by Shannon Stewart, which brings up King Kelly, who hit a home run to tie it up in the 7th inning. Can he do it again? We'll be back right after these messages from our sponsors. It is break time, guys. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. All right, welcome back. Let's go on the big screen here for a second. Again, as we start this segment, welcome to today's stream, episode number 56, that I've titled The Votes Are In. We will find out today who has or has not been elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame by the Baseball Writers Association. And we are right now playing our historical random era debut franchise, where you, the users, the watchers, the viewers, get to create players and we put them in the game. It is called Get in the Game Baseball. And right now we are playing out the 1927 World Series. Yeah. Game 7. Yankees won the first 2 games at home. Boston Braves won the next 3 games in Boston. We go back to New York for Game 6, and in the bottom of the 9th inning, down 3 runs, the Yankees tie it up to stay alive. And then in the bottom of the 10th, a walk-off home run wins it, and the Yankees take it to Game 7. We are in Game 7. We simmed up to the 7th inning, where the Yankees had a 1-run lead. King Kelly in the 7th inning tied it up. But the Yankees have retaken the lead in the bottom of the 8th, and we are now in the top of the 9th inning. Braves down 1 run. Shannon Stewart hit a 2-out single, and we have the guy you'd want at the plate. I think he's 20 years old, 22-year-old King Kelly, who tied the game up in the 7th inning, looking to tie it up again. Tom Henke on the mound. He's pitched 2 innings, no walks, no K. Here comes the pitch. Kelly rips one to right field. It is deep, but the wind takes it not out of the stadium. And the New York Yankees rally after being down 3 games to 2, and they take Game 7 and win their first World Series. Just like I think they did in 1927. Wasn't that the powerhouse team? The Yankees of 1927? Isn't that the team Gorgo uses when he plays the challenge mode? So how fitting. They win it. Tom Henke takes the win, his second win of the playoffs, and Ken Chase loses his second game. 3 hits for Al Bumbry of the Yankees, 2 hits for Pug Bailey, Joe Medwick, and Joe Torre, and Pablo Sandoval. So the only user-created player in this World Series was Pug Smiling Tim Bailey from Birmingham, England. Drafted way, way back in 1921, the inaugural draft by the Yankees. So finally, in his, what is this, in his 7th season, Pug Bailey takes home his first World Series. Congratulations, Pug. All right, we are going to sim ahead to our Hall of Fame vote. Little early in the franchise game, not sure if anyone will be elected in yet. Yeah, Heath, if I missed you here, yeah, it was a few minutes ago. So have a great day. Yeah, get to that meeting. Keep the phone on your lap and collect the drops if you don't have them yet. Steve says, oh yeah, oh yeah. And Luke, are you Pug Bailey, Luke? Because I know you're from England or the UK, and Pug Bailey is a user-created player from the UK. What was the weather like at Perfect Park in 1927? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I can check that now. Maybe I can. Let's go to the box score. Well, for Game 7. No, this was Game 6. This was the comeback win in Perfect Park. In the afternoon, 1:35 Eastern Time, the weather was partly cloudy, 53 degrees, and the wind was blowing right to left at 10 miles an hour. There you go. Oh, I can see it now. The constant weather jokes from Luke. Yeah. And Fofi says, hey, wait a minute. That's not perfect. But you know what? Just for you, Luke, just for you, Game 7, because you did ask what the weather was like. Game 7, it was partly cloudy, 55 degrees, and the wind was blowing out to right at 9 miles per hour. So yeah, I've got all the weather that you need. Let's just check out the Hall of Fame. No, we do not have anyone eligible yet. We're still probably 3 or 4 seasons from players retiring. I've got it set on you only have to wait 1 year for Hall of Fame capability. So we should see retired players eligible fairly quickly. It is time to get to our final user-created player draft. From this point on, we will not have any user-created players as we play out the cycle for OOTP 23. We'll be simming the seasons a little bit quicker, and we won't be spending as much time on the drafts because, hey, we don't have user-created players. Let's check out the Hall of Fame voting again. Yep, nothing there. All right, here is the draft. We have 8 players, 8 of you guys. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being part of this franchise series. We go to the mock draft, and Albert Bell is projected to go to number 1. Gorgos Reds have the first pick in this year's draft. Jack Doyle, love this card as a bronze card or iron card, especially last year. He was meta. He jacked the ball out. Dirty Jack, they call him. He could catch, play second base, shortstop, center field. He is one of my top 10 players that I never knew about before a perfect team. Yes, I have a top 10 list. He is in my top 10 favorite players of guys I've never heard of before I started playing perfect team. So he is projected to go to the Phillies. I wonder if he'll beat out Albert Bell. He's got pretty good ratings. He's from Ireland? Jack Doyle. I guess that makes sense. Doyle, Irish name. Our first user-created player, Benny the Jet Ski. Nice play on words. Benny is from Chicago, Illinois. He can play short and second. Average. He's not the best infielder, but he's got average speed. So he is projected to be a 4.5-star prospect. So he is John Boomer Gray. John Boomer Gray from Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Switch hitter, 20 years old, not the best catcher, doesn't have much speed, but this boy can bunt. Look at that bunt. 97. Just what you want in a World Series. So John Boomer Gray, projected to go fourth to the Browns. We have Zach Greinke, Bubbles Hargrave, Bob Watson, Brad Fulmer, Mark Pryor is in this draft. And this was the one I lost in the corrupt file. This was the only thing that I lost after I backed it up. Someone on the weekend sent me a user-created player, Scottish player. Maybe it's Pugs Bailey's second guy. First name was Raby, but I don't know the rest of his name because that I lost in the corrupt file. So if you created Raby, if this is your player, Luke, make sure you list for me what the last name was and what his nickname was. Robbie? Okay, Robbie. Robbie, there we go. Maybe this was Ted's guy. I know Ted created one, I think, recently. There we go. Okay, let me write that down. Let's go back to the full screen here. Rabby the Bard Burns. Okay. And what was the position that you wanted? I think it was a catcher, wasn't it? I think I kept all the ratings and everything. I think you wanted a speedy defensive catcher. Yeah, okay. So it was just the name that I was missing. Thank you, Ted. So you are projected to go in round number 1 to Brooklyn. Jack Gleason. His nickname should be the Honeymooner. Jack Gleason. Real player. Henry Luff, Les Mann. Les Mann. Les Mann. Yes. Don't think this is a created player either. I think this is a real player. Let me look at my list. Yeah, that's a real player. Les Mann, you've got a unique name. I am adding you to the interesting name short list. We're going to keep an eye on your career. Henry, here's our next created player number 4, Julian Tristian, the monk, as he's called amongst his teammates, from Ocean City, Maryland. And he is a catcher as well. We've got a lot of catchers in this draft pool. Good defense, good speed, good hitting ability. But Robbie is projected to go higher. And Robbie, I didn't have the city name. That wasn't amongst my choices. So, of course, using my trusty Google Earth, I picked a city close to it. So you must be familiar with Air. Probably, I'm guessing that's Air, A-I-R. That was a city close to the one that you picked for where he's from. Next created player, starting pitcher, Herman the Author Melville, a lefty out of New York, New York, went to Belmont Abbey College. He is a lefty with a lot of pitches in his arsenal. Got the fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, screwball. The extreme fly ball pitcher, 91 to 93 velocity with a normal arm slot. So first round projection to the Yankees. How fitting it would be, a New York guy going to the Yankees. Next, user created Hurley can't sing. This better not be a reference to my subscriber melodies. Hurley can't sing. Knuckles is his nickname. From India. He is from Hyderabad, and he is a lefty with, again, pretty good arsenal. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, knuckleball. Primarily going to be a good knuckleball pitcher, it looks like. That's his highest pitch capability. Normal arm slot, 92 to 94 miles per hour. 19-year-old Knuckles. In the second round, user-created player Wim the Surfer Takefield. Another lefty pitcher. We got a lot of lefties. He's got 7 pitches. Again, a knuckleballer. He's a finesse pitcher. And he is from Melbourne, Victoria in Australia. 20-year-old Wim Takefield. Can't really bat, not a two-way player, but looks to be good on the mound. All right, we've got Lou Whitaker, Tony Smith, Gary Matthews Jr., next created player, Noodles, Spaghetti Legs, Gentry. Yes, out of Laverne, Oklahoma. He is a outfielder, not overly strong, although he can develop to be a strong left fielder with that 80 capability. Really good speed, a line drive hitter, and still got a lot of development to go. So Spaghetti Legs projected to go in round number 2 to the Detroit Tigers. And those are our 8 user-created players. I've got them all. Joey Gallo is on the list. Billy Martin. There we go. New York Yankee manager, Billy Martin. Played for the Yankees, Kansas City 1 year, Detroit, Cleveland. Yeah, his last 6 years, he had to pack a suitcase. KC, Detroit, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Minnesota. 7 teams in 7 years. I would say that rivals any other player. I don't know if any other player played with 7 teams. I guess within 4 years. Started in 1957 to 1961. Yeah, 7 teams in 4 years. Very, very unique manager. Adam Jones is in the draft. And in later rounds, we got Willie Upshaw. Here's another cool name. Too bad Cicero wasn't in the chat because he usually does my research for me. Roxy Roach. Roxy Roach. Where did Roxy Roach? It doesn't, let's see where he played. He played 2 years with the Yankees and then 1 year with Washington just before World War I broke out. So I'm wondering if he was someone that went to fight in the war because he never played after the war. Roxy Roach, a shortstop, 214, and he hit 250. Not a very good career, but he has an interesting name. So he's going to be the next player we add. Where is Roxy? There he is. Roxy, you're added to the short list. Interesting names. Keep an eye on him. We've got Jack Morris. He is a 3rd round projected pick. He's on the Hall of Fame committee, I believe, on one of them. Other than that, Scott Sizemore, you're familiar with him. Buster Maynard. Howie Goss. Oh. From Cuba. When did this guy play? Must be recently. Yeah, he might even still be playing. I don't know. If anyone knows how to pronounce Audrissimer, that makes sense. Audrissimer Despins is what I'm guessing. Audrissimer Despins. We won't add him to the list. That's just a difficult name. It's not an interesting name. And that rounds out our mock draft for our 5 rounds. So let's get to the draft and let's see where our 8 players go to. We'll rank them by overall. Yes, spaghetti legs. I thought with a name like Noodles, what a great nickname that is. Noodles, Spaghetti Legs Gentry. Third cousin to Elroy Crazy Legs? Well, it's better than Linguini Legs. And Teddy O's got it. Audrissimer. We got it. All right, round number 1. Cincinnati. They take Mark Pryor. Mark Pryor moved up in the draft. He was projected to go number 9 overall. He goes number 1 to Gorgo's Reds. I think he'll end up being a pretty good player. Philadelphia selects Albert Bell. Next up, the Red Sox. There we go. First user-created player, Benny the Jet Ski, goes to the Red Sox. Hope, Benny, you're a Red Sox fan out of Chicago, Illinois. Sorry you didn't get to go to the Cubs. St. Louis. The Browns take Bubbles Hargrave, a great bronze card. You always remember the great cards, Bubbles Hargrave. Next, the Cardinals. Back-to-back St. Louis picks. Browns take Bubbles, and the Cardinals take our second created player, the first catcher off the board, Julian Tristan. He goes ahead of, shockingly, he goes ahead of Jack Doyle. So Julian Tristan, projected to go 14, moves up and goes to the Cardinals. Next, the Detroit Tigers select Jack Doyle. Good pick for the Detroit Tigers. Next up, Philadelphia Athletics. Who does Rob have to look forward to cheering for? Bob the Bull Watson. Washington selects Jack Gleason. The Pirates. There's our next user-created player, Wim Takefield. Wim the Surfer Takefield. Our Australian, our Aussie, gets to play in Pittsburgh. Brooklyn. Brooklyn selects user-created player, the author, Herman Melville. He goes to Brooklyn. So a New York boy gets to play in the state of New York. That's a warm, fuzzy feeling. Got to make these drafts entertaining, guys. Chicago, the Chicago Cubs take Zach Greinke. Cleveland, Les Mann. Our interesting name pick, Les Mann, goes to Chicago. The world champion New York Yankee, the Giants, first of all. The Giants take Lou Whitaker. Sweet Lou goes to the Giants. The White Sox take Robbie. Yeah, Robbie. Okay, I'll get it right. I'll just think of Rabbit. Robbie. All right, the Scottish catcher goes to play in Chicago. And our world champion New York Yankees, they select John Boomer Gray, another catcher from Latrobe, Pennsylvania. John Boomer Gray is playing for the world champion New York Yankees. So I believe we just have two more user-created players to go. We've got Kant Singh from India, and we've got Noodles Gentry. We got Spaghetti Legs. All right, round number 2. I think is done. I think we just finished the draft there when I skipped ahead, so that's okay. Look at the draft log. Kant Singh, he went to the Philadelphia Phillies. And Noodles Gentry went pick 4, round 2, to the St. Louis Cardinals. So the Cardinals get Spaghetti Legs, and the Phillies get Mr. Kant Singh. Let me just double check, make sure no one else is missing. Joey Gallo is playing in Brooklyn. Adam Jones, drafted by the Guardians. Jack Morris by the Giants. And Gary Matthew Jr. goes to the Cardinals. Brock Holt, Mr. Utility. Brock Holt is playing in New York. Where did Willie Upshaw go? That was another name I was going to look for. I haven't seen him yet. None of these other names really jumping out at me. So yeah, we have our user-created players. They all have a home now, and hopefully a long, long career. Willie Upshaw, round 2, goes to the St. Louis Browns. All right, so I am just going to sim ahead to the beginning of next season just to take a quick look where our user-created players are playing, if they're starting in the majors, if they're in the minor leagues. And then, yeah, next few times we get in the game, we will just be simming ahead, looking at the playoffs, looking at the top players, the award winners, and we'll look at the draft pools just to see who's coming into the league. But other than that, we're done with our user-created players in our 8th season. All right, the game is almost finished loading up here. Thank you guys for tuning in. 130 of you here. If you're coming late, we are just playing some franchise play. Get in the game where some of the users, some of the viewers have submitted a player they want to see in the game. All right, so we're at the start of the 1928 season. Time does fly. And we've got a bunch of players in the minor leagues to start the season. Wim Takefield, recently drafted, is going to start in Single A. Julian Tristan, recovering from a bruised elbow. He's only out for 4 days. He is going to start in Single A. AZ Axel. AZ Axel is in Double A this year, playing for St. Petersburg, the Wolverines. And we've got Noodles. Spaghetti Legs is going to start in Double A with Anaheim. John Gray will start in Raleigh. Double A for Kant Singh. Double A for Melville. Benny Jetski, Ken Starr, Will Huff Tarkin. So most of our recently drafted players are starting in Double A. Robbie in Double A, and in Triple A, Ted McGinn, Electric Meter, and Henry Rowan-Gartner. Some of our players that were drafted recently. Ted McGinn is going to start Triple A Chesapeake. the Tin Man, Electric Meter, Upper Brookville with the Juggernauts. And I believe this is Mr. Audit's created player, Henry Rowengartner, is going to start with Chesapeake. Everyone else, you're in the major leagues. Let's look at age. We're getting up there now, guys. Lee Sitch is 32 years old. He's got 2 Platinum Stick Awards and an All-Star appearance. And Bob Dyson, 32. He has a World Series MVP, 1 World Series championship, 1 All-Star, 2 All-Star appearances, and 3 Great Gloves at third base. All right, we will save that game. All right, welcome back as we wrap up another season of Get in the Game. We were going through the players and where they were starting the season. Most of the recent drafted players are starting in Double-A for 1928, with 3 or 4 of them starting in Triple-A. All right, we are transitioning over to our Lights, Camera, Action team. We looked at them a little bit yesterday, but want to kind of take a peek at it and see where we're at on this Tuesday. So we are currently 25-8. I will take it. 25-8. We're on a 5-game win streak. Excellent. And what I wanted to check out here very quickly is, let's go here and let's go here. So last night, I started a 3-game series with EVC. First time we've kind of played each other in kind of a rival matchup. Game number 1, I crushed them. 7-0. Who pitched that game? Sandy Koufax went 9 innings, 5 hits, and Bob Gibson took the loss for EVC. So I took game 1. He came back and crushed me in game 2, 6-1. Jerry Royce, Eckersley, Guidry, and McGraw only gave up 4 hits. Carl Hubble took the loss for my team. Ouch. So then we go to a game number 3. And he takes game 3 in 12 innings. Wow. So I took the lead in the top of the 12th, and then he scored a 3-run shot. It must have been 3-run homer. Yeah, Johnny Bench hit a 3-run homer to take game 3. So EVC took 2 of the first 3 games, and as you can see on the schedule, in about an hour and a half time, we start another 3-game series. And then we end off the month with another 3-game series. So we'll have played 9 games in about a month's period. Well, we'll keep you updated how that rivalry goes. But yeah, happy with that. 25-8. We've got 114 packs. I look at my transaction history a little bit, see how we got those packs. Let's go back. Where are we? That's Monday. I finished a few missions yesterday to get some packs. And then 3 standard packs from a tournament, 5 standard packs from a tournament from early this morning. Sold my special edition Tim Lincecum, and I sold my 99 rated Tony Gonzalez card. I pulled that card in a pack watching EVC stream yesterday. So that was a nice pack pull, getting that diamond and able to sell it. Okay, while we're not going to open packs on this team. We've looked at that team already. We're going to go and first of all spam some iron tournaments. So if you are entering an iron tournament right now, Probably going to match up against you. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just enter that one for now. And let's go. And I'm going to open 8 packs on the theme team. I'm going to open the 8 packs that I won this morning from the 2 tournaments. So let's see if we get some of that tournament pack luck here. And then we're going to open a bunch more on the Blue Jays. And look at that. You guys didn't even bring the dogs yet. And we start off with a diamond. Now, if it's a historical diamond, I'm going to take a long sip of coffee to celebrate. Our first pack, our first diamond is going to be Shane Bieber. Part of 3 missions, including the AL Gold Glove, which I haven't completed, so he stays on the team for now. All right, pack number 2. The ideal card on this team would be Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb was in movies. Ty Cobb did do a little bit of scripted acting. Gold card is Nate Lowe. All right, so those are the 8 packs on this team. Just wanted to test the waters a little bit. 1 diamond, 1 gold, both live. Can't complain. When you pull a diamond and a gold in 8 packs, you're doing something pretty good. You're on a roll. And 2 more tournaments to spam. There, we've got the iron tournaments full. All right, perfecto draft time. It is time for you guys to help me out a little bit in this draft. So funny. If you watched EVC yesterday, he said, yeah, Laptop Hound did a perfect draft on his stream and only drafted 1 catcher. You always got to make sure you get 2 catchers. And then he ended up with 1 catcher as well. Oh, yeah, that was a classic moment. So make sure I get 2 catchers this time. So this is the draft that is going to start in a few hours, the perfecto draft. And I forgot to check if this is the evening or if this is the 1993 one or is this the modern era? Because that is important. Let's check that out. This is the 1992 one. Okay. Power. Yes. The evening one, you want power. The late one, a little bit different strategy. All right. Randy Johnson, 1992. All my cards aren't showing. This is the meme. Shane Baz is considered the worst perfect card. Non-live perfect card anyway. And probably Tony Gwynn. Even though he doesn't have power. Good leadoff guy. Randy Johnson, Tony Gwynn. Let's check it on chat here. Hey, I'm in this tournament. Oh, Rob fan. Hey, glad you're in this. Hope I meet up with you. What is your team name again? Let me write that down because I want to see throughout the night if I match up with your team. Yeah, it's considered the end of the defensive era. I still go power in 1992. All right, the chessman. Yes, I remember that. I thought it was a NASCAR flag as part of your logo, but it was a chessboard. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, there's always Biggio and King Kelly as backup catchers. All right, Gwynn and Randy Johnson. Those are my first 2 picks. So take that, Rob. You're going to match up if you face them. Gwynn and Randy. I do not like the bottom row. Well, I'm just taking the two best players that are showing right now, and the two best players are center fielders. Ned Hanlon can play left. Andrew Jones can play right. And they're both really good in center field. So I don't like taking two of the same position, same round, but I don't like those other four cards. Wow, I hope you had better picks than these, Rob, because my first three rounds, they suck. Let's go with a reliever. My backup shortstop. He better not be my starter. Wow. Wow. Where are all the good cards gone? I do like Martin because he can play every position. I don't think he can catch. No. Oh, he does have one catcher ability. Wonder if I can use him as a catcher. He's got a 1 for arm and ability. And he can pitch. So literally a guy that can play every position. We're going to take him. And a pitcher, I guess. No, I'm taking a catcher early just in case. Elston Howard, you're on the team. All right, easy choice. Knapp and John. I like the easy rounds. Just not getting the players here. Billy Wagner for sure as a stopper. I really don't like a tandem of Russell Martin and Elston Howard. But let's get it out of the way. If I get a Josh Gibson, I'm still taking him. Mel Ott, my third right fielder. Yuck. What's up with this? Rob, you must even think these are pretty lousy rounds. So yeah, Steve, I did grab the catcher and I did grab that new Wagner. All right, I've got two catchers. Got all my infielders except for first base and 5 outfielders. Martin is a utility guy, and I could move Ned Hanlon to left if I have to. Oh boy, Willie Wells, I still think is one of the best 5 shortstops in the game. Overall, I think Willie Wells is one of the best 5. I'm not including the PTS championship cards like Alan Trammell and stuff like that. I'm including just kind of the packables or the mission cards. I think Willie Wells is one of the top 5. I've got him on my Gladiators. I like this card. He's not that name guy. You can train him at third base. I had a really good draft yesterday, and I made it to the round of 16. Like I had Honus Wagner, Rogers Hornsby, Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Ed Delahanty, Randy Johnson, Pud Galvin. That was just to start. And I made it to the round of 16 or 16 teams left. So I did win a silver choice pack, but I was expecting to go a lot further there. I guess we go Willie and Jackie. Mind you, I bet I'm going to need a lot of pictures. Cubs fan Steve, remind me to take pictures because I've only got 4 going into round number 9. Koufax, Arenado, I guess. This may be the worst selection of cards I've had in a perfect draft. Halliday and Noodles. Nope. Halliday and Strasburg. Here's the new card that Heath said he didn't really like too much. Wasn't doing too well on his gold team. Francisco Rodriguez. Haven't heard much about him. Of course, he doesn't have great control, but he should play pretty well. Up to diamond, you would think. So I'll take him, and I'll take Kenley Jansen. So round 12, I've got 9 pitchers for 1992. I'm okay with 11 pitchers. I did win this once with 10 pitchers. I don't need a catcher. Yeah, this is bad. Minnie Minoso for his versatility. And mop-up. Like, when my 2 pitcher choices are live Aaron Nola, no offense, Rob, and Bert Blyleven, who has numbers in the 80s, I guess, yeah, let's go Frank Thomas. It's not the good Frank Thomas, but we'll take him. Yeah, exactly, Rob. When a card has 87 and it's considered bad. All right, last round. I've only got 9 pitchers. Babe Adams. All right, this is where I probably need some advice here. Cy Blanton or Pud Galvin. I've got to take a pitcher because I need 2. I would have loved Carl Yastrzemski, but I'm fine in the outfield. You take, of these 3 bottom guys, I think Babe for sure. Blanton or Pud? Yeah, I have done well with Pud Galvin. You're right. There we go. Started off okay. Middle rounds were pretty lousy. But when you look at it, a starting pitching rotation of Randy Johnson, Pud Galvin, Babe Adams, Sandy Koufax, and Roy Halladay, I'd say that's a good pitching staff. I'm going to put Billy Wagner and Kenley Jansen, a lefty-righty, as my stoppers. Everyone else normal. No long relief. And this is 1992, so I like to set a bigger pitch count. I'm going to go with 125 pitches. Only 11 pitchers, but hopefully these guys can pitch complete games or close to it. Oh yeah, I don't mind the pitching staff. Quite honestly, I'd like another lefty in the bullpen, but I'd say that's pretty good. Yeah. If I didn't need 2 pitchers, Yaz would have been an automatic. All right, for my hitters, I do like to kind of organize them a little bit based on contact and power. My big power guys are Thomas, Ott, and Jones. So I like them in the 3, 4, 5 positions. Thomas, Ott, and Jones. And I like the guy with the best contact at number 3. Thomas, Ott, and Jones. Ott. So Ott, number 3. Thomas, number 4. And Andrew Jones, number 5. And then Tony Gwynn is going to lead off. I don't know why they have Willie Wells. Tony Gwynn, great contact, great base running. Nap Lajoie is going to go number 2. Arenado, number 6. Howard, Minoso, Wells. I like that. And against the righties, we've got power-wise Ott, Thomas, Jones again. Ott, Thomas, Jones. Gwynn, Lajoie, Arenado. Gwynn, Lajoie, Arenado. McGraw, though, I'm going to put in for Arenado. And Hanlon goes in for Minnie Minoso. Yeah, I think I like that. Every fourth game, Russell, you can come in. Jackie, you can come in every fourth game. I like to set fourth or fifth games for a lot of my reserve guys, just to give them that rest. Fifth. Except for the DH. A lot of times I don't find they need the rest at DH. And same with the righties. Let's fill this out. Auto. Again, this could be, I could see this team going to the quarterfinals. I could see this team out in the first round. It's that kind of team. No Ty Cobb, no Honus Wagner, no Rogers Hornsby, no Babe Ruth, no Carl Yastrzemski, no Joey Votto. So it's a bunch of mid-tier players. No one really horrible, but no one really, really outstanding other than my pitching staff. So Rob Fan, who is in your rotation? You have Cliff Lee, Maddox, Dwight Gooden, Bob Gibson, Seaver. I'd say your Lee, Maddox, and Gooden rival my top 3, but I think I have you in the edge in the 4th and 5th guys. I've got Koufax and Halladay. I think Koufax and Halladay are better than Gibson and Seaver. You might have a little edge in the top, though, with your righties for sure. And I think you have probably the second best lefty in the game. I think Cliff Lee is the second best lefty after Randy Johnson. I think Cliff Lee and Randy Johnson are even better than the recent tournament Steve Carlton. Steve Carlton's a good card. I think Cliff Lee and Randy Johnson are better. All right, let us enter in a couple tournaments here for the Gladiators. And we didn't check on this team yesterday, so we're going to do a quick check-in. And then we're going to open some packs, guys. I love opening packs, especially when you guys are around, because you guys bring me some good pack luck. Thank you, Cool Nana 333. Cool Nana? Are you a grandma? Cool Nana? Cool Nana 333, or is that just in celebration of your grandmother? Because in my culture, Nana means grandma. And Mr. Black 8, Mr. Black 8, welcome to the channel as well. If you're new to the channel, I stream usually Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, but this week I'm going Wednesday instead of Thursday. And there will be a giveaway tomorrow for some standard packs. So come back then, check it out. All right, the Rocky Mountain Gladiators are in Diamond 352. And if you're not familiar with my Rocky Mountain franchise, this is a team that went straight to silver out of the gate. We didn't need iron and stone and bronze. No, we went right to silver. And we haven't been below diamond since 2041. From 2041 up till present day, the last 20 years, we have been in diamond or perfect. Twice in perfect league. Of course, in perfect, if you don't make the playoffs, you get demoted. We didn't make the playoffs. Hoping to get back there. But right now, in diamond 352, we are sitting at a record of 20-17. We're only 2.5 games back of an E16. Those teams always scare me. The E6 or the TBD, the ones that have the acronyms at the end of it, because I know they have their own special groups. Yeah, they're like a clan. They have their own special clan. So 20-17, we are doing well, but we've lost our last 3 games. So we are on a little bit of a slump. And there are 2 Ricky Hendersons. Let's check this out. How many limited edition Ricky Hendersons? 3 in my league. This one is hitting 205. This manager got the bad Ricky Henderson. Hitting 205, 23 strikeouts. Yeah. That one's not doing too well. This one here on the New York team is hitting 243. Again, not doing as well as I thought he would be doing. And the third Ricky Henderson, there we go. That's what I expect. 341. 341. He's got a division series. Wow, this is a good Ricky Henderson. 341. And sometimes what I like to see too, because I believe where they hit in the batting order makes a difference. So let's take a look. We've got Sylvania, New York, and then the good one is Assiniboine. Sylvania has Ricky Henderson hitting. He doesn't have him here. He must have sold him off or put him on reserve. Maybe he got a good price for Ricky Henderson, because I do not see Ricky Henderson here. All right. Well, if he's hitting 205, I understand why you might have sold him. The New York team has Ricky Henderson hitting 6th. Not where I would put him. So might explain why this Ricky Henderson is only hitting 243. He's got him number 6 in the order. And the last Ricky Henderson was Assiniboia. This is the Ricky Henderson that's hitting 341, and he's got him hitting 1st and 8th. 1st against the righties and 8th against the lefties. He is better against the lefties. So interesting call. I would have moved him up further. I would have probably had him hitting leadoff against the lefties, but it's working out for him. He's 5th on the team in terms of control or a contact. And he's a lot further down against the righties. So yeah, interesting call. Maybe his ballpark is part of that. Let's check out the ballpark. No, it's a neutral ballpark. Exactly, yeah. And they're 22-14. So this team is 1st in their division. And they've got some really interesting lineup calls here. Joey Votto against lefties. He's hitting 293. Wow. You know why? Talk about gutsy, Mr. Audit. Joey Votto in diamond against lefties is hitting 356 in 55 plate appearances. He's only hitting 241 against righties. That is a gutsy call, but it's one that's definitely paying off. Yeah, it could be a weak league, but diamond, so diamond is usually fairly strong. But I'm curious why he has Ricky in his weak side hitting first and on his strong side hitting eighth. Yeah, interesting call. He's got Brooks Robinson as well hitting both sides. So yeah, sometimes I just like to look at the teams and just kind of see what their numbers look like, where they have them in the order. Another strange call. Honus Wagner is not in the starting lineup anywhere. This manager is Honus coming off the bench, and he's hitting 319. We can't see their daily lineups, but he must have him coming off the bench quite a bit because he has 81 plate appearances. George Brett, he doesn't have him against the righties. So he's got Brooks Robinson instead of George Brett. So yeah, some questionable lineup decisions, but can't complain. It's working out for him. There's Assiniboine ahead of me by 2.5 games. So actually Assiniboine's in the same division as I am. Huh. And my other team, talk about the Matrix, talk about a different timeline here. The Jim Unknown Blue Jays are leading the West Division. They are usually underneath the Gladiators, and now they are the number 2 team in the league. I mean, the Cleveland Flying G's, who have won, 5 Diamond Championships. They've won 2 Perfect League Championships. They're like a big kid in a sandbox. They're at 30-6. I'm thinking they're going to win this league. You guys want to take a look at what a 2-time world champ, 5-time diamond champ team looks like? They are using the 60-18 approach, even with some of the best pitchers in the game. I might have to go back to that. They've got Randy Johnson, Cliff Lee, my opinion, the 2 best lefties. And they've got him pitching 4 innings. But look at that bullpen. Nolan Ryan, Pedro, Walter Johnson, Greg Maddux, Pud Galvin. 5 of the best righties ready to come off the bench. And then they've got a closing team that you would dream of. Franco, Gooden, and Rivera. They've got the New York trio. Franco hasn't allowed an earned run. Rivera, 1.35 ERA, and Dwight Gooden, they've got on the bench as a stopper. Wow. So that 18 batters faced, 60 pitch count approach is working because they're 30-6. Mind you, they've got elite pitching. Here's my pitching. I thought I had elite pitching. I do have elite pitching. I've got Cliff Lee. I've got one of the only 25 lefty Groves that I pulled in a pack. I don't even know if you can buy them on the card shop. Yeah, no one's selling them. There's only 25 of them. I've got Fernando, Hell Newhouser, and then I've got Pud. And I'm in a lefty cheese ballpark. So my ballpark is all lefty. I probably should put Glavin in for Pud as a fifth lefty, or Matlick. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Matlick, you're number 5. So very interesting. I'm using the higher pitch count because I believe I have the stud lefties. And who is that other team? Flying G's. What's their ballpark? Are they running a lefty cheese? No, they're running a neutral ballpark. This gets more interesting all the time. All lefty starters. 1860 pitch count. Neutral ballpark. I guess that's the trick. Mind you, who do they have for their hitters? Remember, this is a 2-time world champion, a 5-time diamond champion. They're running out of room for all their medals up here. Yeah, I'd say they have an elite team. Other than they don't have Ricky Henderson. Is this the championship? Yeah, they have the championship K-line. They've got Josh Gibson. Yep. They're going back up to perfect team. Unless the random generator gets them. All right, guys, we are going to end off opening about 50 packs. So let's get those dogs going. Let's get some pack luck in here. Come on, Rob fan. Come on, if you're in here. Wildcat Bandit, Cubs fan, Steve, all you guys that send the emojis, my emotes my way. Let's pull at least a historical diamond. Let's get that historical diamond out of the way early. Get the dogs going. Get the emotes going. Again, have your card shop ready because I will be blowing out my duplicates of any card that I feel worthy. Pull 3 gold in your 10 packs. Well, speaking of gold, we have a gold. And these ones I just quick sell because I know no one's buying live golds for that much. Come on, who let the dogs out? There you go. We have an advertisement if anyone has an extra Roy Thomas. I don't know if that's a tournament card or a packable card, but not one that I'm familiar with. Gold number 2, we have not a Roy Thomas, but we have a Bob Smith. Bob Smith, one of the most common names. Part of 2 missions, CC2 War and Rebirth Gold Pitchers. I have them already, so you get him on the card shop for $14.99, which is below last 10 and $400 below the cheapest one on the market. Go get yourself a Bob. Thanks again for all of you following on this Tuesday afternoon. I hope your work day is going well. I don't know if the Hall of Fame vote official tablets are in yet. We'll check that at the end of the stream here in about 5 minutes. And again, tune in tomorrow for giveaway number 2 of the week tomorrow. Not streaming Thursday. Again, I am doing my Thursday stream tomorrow, and I will lead right into Gorgo. So you get 2 old guys, a Canadian and American, back to back, streaming tomorrow. There's Memesa. Hey, Memesa. Where have you been the last half hour, Memesa? Where have you been? Look, you show up. You give me the EVC sirens plus the dogs, and it brings up a diamond. Mimza, this one's for you. Zach Wheeler, who I don't have, and I'm going to hang on just in case milestone missions, because they do that to us now. They put in, sale, and they put in live cards into these milestone missions. So that's going to be a keeper for now. I don't want to have to pay $8,000 for them later. We have 1 diamond and 4 gold so far. 5 gold. One historical, and this one is a non-historical. A quick sell. 5 live gold, 1 historical gold, 1 live diamond. And there's Wildcat. There's one of the 2 winners from yesterday's giveaway. You should have got your 10 standard packs earlier today there, Wildcat. Hope you pulled something good in those, or something that you could sell off at least to make some perfect points. Gold card number 7. Quick sell number 4. All right, Mimza brought me a live diamond. You're bringing me some gold here, Wildcat, including, again, a Blue Jay. I think you did that yesterday, too. You brought me a Blue Jay to end off the stream. Future Legend, a duplicate. I know these are still holding their value. Well, not so much for the iron guys, but I am going to put him on the market if you want him for $3.99, part of the Catcher Future Legend mission. $3.99 on the market now. Sucks, Wildcat, that you didn't even pull a gold. Should have waited until a streamer was on. That's when they pull all the good ones, when streamers are pulling good cards. And gold number 10. 9 live gold, 1 historical gold, 1 live diamond in about 25 packs. That's pretty good. A plat 4, the first plat 4 of the day, and gold number 11, live number 10. I'm not even pulling cards I can list for you guys. L. Bridwell on the market for 66 perfect points. All right, Wes Covington was there too. Another, this time a gold duplicate. Gonna put this one on the market for $17.99. Part of 3 missions, so a good card to have. Nick on the market. 700 points lower than the lowest listed card. Yeah, Bidwell does well. I just replaced him. I replaced him with... did I replace him? Yeah, I think I replaced him. I took your advice, those of you that were suggesting some iron and bronze cards yesterday. And I made a few changes to my iron and bronze tournaments based on your guys's. There was a second baseman that you suggested, 2 full, I think. And there was a crap pitcher that you suggested. Literally. A crap pitcher. K-R-A-P-P. Buck Herzig is a duplicate. If you need Buck Herzig for your Platinum 4 missions, he is on $4.99. All right, we're going to go about 5 more packs unless we get on a hot streak here. with some diamonds or perfects, but right now we're just pulling a lot of live golds. Although I'm not complaining. That's $11,000 in live gold so far. 11,000 perfect points. $76 red Munger. All right, yeah, nothing, not getting those vibes of the really good cards. Of course, I'm still holding on to a ton of diamond, historical, gold, silver. I probably have close to 200 maybe of these premium packs because I haven't really opened these up this year. And so from login bonuses and tournaments and all these other ways of completing missions, maybe about 150 to 200 premium packs that are going to be open very soon. I'm kind of waiting for a couple more card release sets to come out before I do that. All right, let me switch over to my main screen. Let's do a quick Hall of Fame vote update. Let's see if anything has been updated there. Nothing on the Wikipedia site. And on the Hall of Fame tracker site, it was updated at 3:09 Eastern. So about 20 minutes ago. Only 51% of the ballots are known. That's outrageous. Only 51% are known. Roland and Helton are still looking pretty good. Billy Wagner hanging in there. I think he's dropped a little bit. But it's looking almost like a sure thing now for Scott Rowland and Todd Helton to get in the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, Jeff Kent's still hanging around the 50% mark, so he will be dropped off the ballot because this is his 10th year on the ballot. Well, guys, that is going to be it from this hound. Thank you so much for watching, supporting the channel. Over 100 of you tuning in faithfully over the last few days. 105, 106 tuning in now, including a couple from France. Bonjour. Comment t'appelles-tu? Comment ça va? That's about all I know. Oui, oui. So thank you. Merci beaucoup from Canada to you in France, one from the UK, one from the Russian Federation, and we have many from Canada and the US. So as I always close off, it is a great day for baseball. No matter where you are, I will be back tomorrow. Thank you guys again for your support. Again, be kind to yourself and someone else this week. Tomorrow, another giveaway. We'll see you next episode.